Hello fellow YouTubers, Tim Time here. So today we're going to mount a television on the wall, and it's a pretty easy task if you've never done it. A couple of things I like to do I'll be explaining as we go down the road here. But if you take a look here, you'll see I got from, I don't know, anywhere but Amazon. No, I seriously, I got this at Amazon. It's a Pearl Smith wall mount TV assembly, and it comes with pretty much everything you need, the bolts and everything. First thing I like to do is when I get it, I make sure that I have the bolts, that it came with the bolts for both the wall mounts right there, and then the ones for the television. The next thing I like to do is make sure that the bolt pattern adapter I have right here fits something on the back of this TV. So you can see where the bolt pattern is here, and looks like if I go there and there, yep, I got 4 holes that'll line up. That means this adapter will work. We're good to go ahead with the rest. So the next thing I want to do, this is the part that mounts to the wall. I like to get a little piece of wood. This is just a piece of that kind of the bottom of a drawer, because I don't like to bolt this directly to the drywall. Because I'm always afraid that as I'm bolting it in, it's going to smash through the drywall, because drywall's not really that resilient. I guess if you have that rock lath or something like that, it's better. But this is just a little plate that I can put in, and I've already measured it. I measured it just about an inch or two bigger, and I have the bolt holes lined up. So while I have that ready to go, the next thing you have to do is decide the height that you want your television at. And in this particular case, excuse me, I'm going to go right in front of the camera. In this particular case, I have my trusty assistant Samantha here doing this for me. That's why it's working like that. We've decided that we want this to be the center of the TV, approximately 75 inches off the floor. So we're going to just kind of go up to 75 inches, and I'm just going to put a little mark on the wall. Just kind of so we know, nothing big. So another thing to think about, if you look down here, you'll see this is an outlet. There's a nice little flower light in it.
Mushrooms.
It's probably not UL listed either. Fire hazard. Anyhow, usually an outlet is mounted, there'll be a stud usually on this side or this side. And just to verify that, I'll use a stud finder.
Whoa.
Which you can get these at almost any hardware store or whatever. I've had this one for a long time. When it goes out, I'm going to look, I should get a stud right around, and there it is. Goes in and then goes right back off. So the stud's going to be on this side of the outlet. I'll just prove that again. Go across. There it is right there. And there it ends. So now that we know that, in this particular case, we decided to mount the television right above an outlet. That's always kind of helpful when you're putting the TV up to have an outlet nearby so you don't have extension cords running anywhere. You can also knock additional holes in the wall and run the wires behind the wall. I don't think we're going to do that because this is a bedroom and it'll probably change 10,000 times. Okay, so what I had to do is I had to make sure something. The other ones I have, there's actually an arrow that points up. So on this particular thing, and I'm sure the instructions tell you, these mounting screws actually go on the top. And you'll see that when you put the plate on. This plate goes on, it has a pivot on the bottom that goes in these two little ears that stick out, and then the mounting screws tighten down. So that's going to be about the most important thing here. So I'm going to go by, actually I'll go a little bit below it. It all goes off, and there's the start of the stud, and there's the end of the stud. So I'll go up top, do the same thing. There's the start of the stud, and the end of the stud. You'll see that the light goes down to indicate I'm coming toward the end. So those two should kind of line up, and with this kit they actually give you a level. Isn't that nice of them? But you can use any kind of flat edge, straight edge, kind of to look and see if they really do line up, and we can use this level. And all in all, that looks pretty close, just that. So what we'll do, make sure that it's level when we're done. Here goes one hole, two hole, and the third hole. They look pretty close to level. I can use a straight edge again and see if they're level. Like that. Looks like it might be a little crooked. So, the middle hole and the top hole are fine. This hole here got to come over just a little bit. So I'll know that when I drill my hole, like a little mark there. Okay, so now the instructions tell you to drill a pilot hole with an 1/8" drill bit. And that I'm going to do next. Alright, so here goes my pilot holes. And they should be right about in the middle of the stud. And on the lines I drew. Actually, we'll make sure it's so they go all the way through, so I'll make my drill bit as long as it can. I can definitely feel that it went into the wood. That's always a reassuring feeling. Here's the next one. And then the last one. Okay, once you have those, what you want to do is grab your mounting screws, and those are the 3 big ones here on the floor, in this bag here that was on the floor. You want to use a ratcheting wrench to drive them in. They do have screws, and I guess you could use your screwdriver attachment on your drill. I always just use a ratchet and I run them in. So, Sam, do you want the white side hot or the brown side hot?
The white side.
White side? Okay. That's stupid. Okay. Okay, you can turn it back on.
It was back on the whole time.
Oh, I didn't know that. Okay, so
they heard you calling me stupid.
Here we have 10mm. That's what these just happen to be, the bolts. So 10mm socket, because you know we're all going to the metric system. So let's see. I'll just start the middle one first, just because I can see what I'm doing that way.
I think that's the wrong way.
I don't think it is. Now these bolts are pretty long. That's why I recommend don't try and do it with a wrench or pliers or anything. You'll be here a long time. And it gets pretty tough to run in here after a while. So that being said, we'll get this one and then the other two. And I just made sure my orientation was correct. If you do put it in wrong, you can always take the bolt out of the end here and switch that around. You pivot in for where the TV mounts. There's really no rocket science for putting these up. A little bit higher than I like it, but I guess you know the kids are going to be sitting in bed staring up at it. So you know, if I was sitting on a couch or something, my neck would be sore. So we'll pause here while I run the rest of these in, and we'll get right back to you. Okay, well the top mount's up. So when you run those in, make them snug and a little bit more. You don't have to crank on them. You don't want to rip them through the wall or anything. You know, have a little mercy on them. They're only screws, for crying out loud. So yeah, I just make them kind of where they want to stop, and then just give them a little tightening. That's it. I don't yank on them or crank on them. So then the next thing we have to do is find our mounting bracket, which I'm sitting on. And if my lovely assistant will point the camera down here at the television, we can put this next. So the next thing you want to do is, this one actually had screws in it. So I'm going to see if the screws that came in it work. And the easiest way to see if they work is run them in until they stop. Again, don't crank on them. Just run them in. Just put one in till it stops. And you can see that moves. So it's going to need a washer behind it. I believe the kit that comes with this gives me washers. And they sure do right there. So I'll take 4 of these washers. And again, I'll just do one at a time to make sure that when that screw stops turning, come on washer, come out of there, that the screw's the right size. These washers are pretty much fits all kind of thing for these kits, so if you want to use smaller ones and you have them laying around, by all means go ahead, but these should serve the purpose. So when it's tight, oh yeah, there you, so I didn't even crank on it. It's nice and snug. So I'll put those 4 on, and the other 3, and then we'll be ready to hang the TV in a minute.
Set.
Okay, so what you want to do before you lift your TV up is take these 2, the screws for the mount off, because otherwise you get the TV there and realize you didn't take these off yet. But keep them nearby, because you'll need. Let's throw them on the ground. Keep them nearby because you'll need them. The mount is on the TV, and as my camera person can show you, the mount's all installed and ready to go. This is a rather small TV. That bracket will do pretty large TVs. So this, I'm not really worried about it. One thing you may want to check periodically, I've never had it happen, but for your wall mounts, check to make sure these bolts don't come loose, because there are vibrations on the TV. So I'm going to get behind the TV, or no, I guess I'll pull it out this way so you can see what I'm doing. Actually, my camera person can probably even come here and get a look at this. So what you do is you lift the TV up, and it goes on the outside. And as you can see, the TV itself bracket sits in there, so you don't really have to hold up on the TV anymore. And then you can start your screws, or have an assistant start them, and that'll keep the TV from pivoting forward all the way. But you don't want to tighten them yet, because I'm actually going to swing this around so I can tighten the other side. You won't be able to see anything but my head at this point.
I'm making sure that's just the TV.
Thank goodness you've saved our viewers' lives. You saved the lives of the 35 subscribers.
Of all your million subscribers.
Okay, and again, you should be able to get these started by your fingers without having to really crank down on them with the screwdriver until you're ready, till they're good and started in there. And then the screwdriver again, snug's good. You don't need to go crazy with them. I have that pointed down a lot, but like I said, we're looking at the bed. So the last thing I want to do here is remove the feet, because we're not going to need those anymore. So what I usually do with these is I remove them, and I throw the screw on the floor. I remove them, and then I tape them with the screw back onto the mount somewhere. That way, when I send Samantha off to college, and she wants to take her TV with her, and she needs the feet, but by then they'll probably be going in like the Jetson mobile to college, she'll be all set. So the only problem I see with this TV right now, the way it is the fact that this cord is not going to reach, which I kind of expected when she said she wanted it that high. So that's okay. You can get extension cords in all different lengths, and this type of mount will go different ways. As you see, she can have it over on this side more, or pull it this way and have it here. That's kind of why I like this double articulate mount. But you get whichever one you like. But that's it. That's how these things go. That's how they work. That's how easy it can be. You know, by all means, read the instructions too, so that you feel comfortable. But this is about the 4th one I've put up in about a month, so.
It's better than any instruction manual.
Yeah, whoa, way better. This brain is like a, I don't know what it's like.
Smart.
That should be it. Did I forget to say anything? Did I miss anything?
Don't forget to like, follow, and subscribe.
Yeah, like, follow, and subscribe. Hey, also there is bolts on the backs of these for all different types if you want to tighten them up so it doesn't swing. This doesn't swing real easy, but if you want it to, there's all kind of adjustments on it. And you can actually adjust the pivot of the screen. But again, like I said, I have it pretty far forward because it's 75 inches in the air. You can actually look up on the internet and see what the average for different size rooms are, the height of the TV. I think I generally go about 48 to 50 inches for the center of the TV. No, actually I go higher than that because light switches are 48. But anyhow, we won't get into all that. We have to dig up an extension cord so that she's ready to go. But thanks for watching. Enjoy.